All I did was fix her dress, but the alien warrior thought I was asking to be her mate for life. The battlefield was long over, but the echoes of it still haunted the ruined valley. I'd been sent there to help rebuild the outpost, nothing more than a temporary alliance between humans and the Valkyrie, a warrior race of towering silver-skinned aliens who could snap a steel bar with their bare hands. My job was simple: repair, restore, and keep out of trouble. But trouble, as it turned out, had sharp golden eyes and a torn ceremonial dress. Scene 1, the rip in the silk. It started in the supply hangar. I was bent over a fusion generator when a shadow fell across my work table. "Human," a deep voice rumbled. I turned and nearly dropped my wrench. Standing there was Captain Sereth of the Valkyrie Guard, taller than any man I'd ever seen, shoulders broad enough to block the light. She wore a long tunic of dark indigo armor over what looked like ceremonial fabric, an embroidered sash that shimmered like starlight. Except I noticed the fabric was ripped clean down one side. She followed my gaze, her expression unreadable. "Your kind works with threads and machines. You will fix this." It wasn't a question. It was an order. Yeah. I can patch that up for you." Her eyes narrowed, but she handed me the torn cloth. It was surprisingly soft, woven from something that wasn't quite silk, not quite metal. As I examined it, I caught the faintest scent, something like rain and ozone. "Wait here," I said, motioning toward my workbench. "I just need some adhesive thread." She stood perfectly still as I worked, every movement controlled, disciplined. The only sound was the hum of the generator and the whisper of my needle through the cloth. When I finally reached the torn seam near her collar, I hesitated. "You'll need to hold still," I said. "I am still," she replied coolly. But she wasn't. Her breath hitched slightly when my fingers brushed her skin. The Valkyrie were warm, hot even, and I could feel the tension under her armor. "There," I murmured, tying the final stitch. "Good as new." When I looked up, I found her watching me, not with gratitude, but with an intensity that made my stomach twist. "You touched the bond thread," she said quietly. "The what now?" Her golden eyes burned brighter. "Among my kind, to mend a warrior's garb, especially the ceremonial sash, is a declaration of intent. You have offered to bind yourself to me. For life." Froze. "Wait, what?" "No, I was just fixing your dress." Scene 2, the misunderstanding. Word spread fast in the camp. Everywhere I went, Valkyrie soldiers glanced at me, then at Captain Sereth, whispering in their guttural language. By midday she found me again, outside the mess hall this time. "Human," she said, her tone calm but sharp. "My warriors now think you are my chosen. I swear I didn't mean. You handled the bond thread. It is sacred. It carries the scent of one's spirit." Scent. It was just cloth. She stepped closer, and I instinctively backed against the wall. The air between us grew hot. "Do you deny the bond?" she asked softly. "Yes. No. I mean, I didn't know it was a bond." She studied me for a long, tense moment. "Among my people, denial of a bond is dishonor. But I will not force a human into our ways." Relief washed through me until she added, almost to herself, "Still, the thread has marked you." "Marked me. It remembers your touch." She turned and walked away, leaving me staring after her, half convinced I'd somehow proposed marriage with a needle and thread. Scene 3, the fire and the choice. That night, the alarm sirens shattered the silence. A raider ship. Unidentified, fast, hostile. Blast of fire ripped through the outer barricades before we could even react. I ducked behind a cargo crate, shouting for cover, when I saw her, Sereth, standing exposed near the power conduits, shielding 2 young Valkyrie engineers. A beam of plasma shot toward her. I didn't think, I just moved. I tackled her to the ground as the blast tore through the air above us. For a heartbeat we lay there, me on top of her, her breath hot against my neck. Then she pushed me off and rose to her full height, drawing her plasma blade. "You protected me," she said quietly, almost reverently. "I wasn't going to let you die because of me," I muttered. She roared, a battle cry that shook the walls, and charged into the chaos. I scrambled after her, helping however I could. Sealing bulkheads, rerouting power, shooting down drones. When the final raider ship exploded in the sky, the base fell silent except for the crackle of flames. Sereth approached, her armor scorched, her sash torn again, this time across the mended seam. "The bond thread held during battle," she said softly. "It means the spirits approve. Sereth, please." She knelt suddenly, pressing one fist to her chest. "Then I, Sereth of House Vale, accept your life offering in kind. You may refuse it, human, but know this. I will carry your mark until my final breath." Her voice shook on the last word. For the first time I saw not a warrior, but someone vulnerable beneath all that strength. I didn't know what to say. So I said the truth. "I didn't mean to start this, but maybe it's not the worst mistake I've ever made." Her eyes widened slightly. Then to my shock she smiled, small, fierce, and full of something I couldn't name. "Then we are agreed," she said. "You fix what is broken, and I will guard what you mend." Scene 4. The Aftermath. Weeks later, as the Alliance delegation prepared to depart, Sereth walked beside me through the hangar, the same place this all began. "Your people think me terrifying," she said. "Only the ones who haven't seen you laugh." "I do not laugh. You did last night." Her lips curved again. "Perhaps." As her ship prepared for takeoff, she pressed something into my hand. A strip of indigo cloth, carefully stitched. "Keep this," she said. "So the bond remembers." And then she was gone, leaving only the scent of rain and ozone behind. I stared at the fabric, feeling the faint pulse of warmth in the thread where my fingers had touched it. Maybe I hadn't meant to ask for a mate for life. But somehow, somewhere between the stitches and the fire, I'd found one anyway. The next morning the outpost was quiet. The fires were out, the sky washed clean after the storm of battle. I stood where Sereth's ship had vanished hours ago, the piece of indigo cloth still clutched in my hand. It pulsed faintly with heat, like it remembered her touch, her voice, her vow. Around me, the Valkyrie moved with silent purpose, rebuilding, repairing. Few nodded when they saw me. Not as a human outsider now, but as something else, someone connected to their captain. Her chosen. I traced the stitched seam, the same one I'd fixed on that first day. My fingers trembled slightly. Somehow, I'd stepped into a story older than humanity itself. One woven not with words, but with honor and blood and thread. The calm on my wrist beeped, a recorded message. Her voice filled the air, low and steady. "Human, if you hear this, then I have already departed. The bond thread carries memory. Keep it close, and you will never be lost. When the stars call you, follow them. I will be waiting." I smiled, though my chest ached. "She always has to sound dramatic," I murmured. The sky above shimmered faintly, her ship jumping to warp, just a streak of silver light fading into the void. I looked down at the cloth one last time before tying it around my wrist, the edges glinting softly under the dawn light. Maybe I hadn't meant to start a bond.